My name is Tom Dusenberry. I'm here to speak with you about the game industry. The question that has been asked is it why did you get into the game industry, and what are you doing now in the game industry? I've been in the game industry my entire career, 40 years. And I got into the industry because I felt that it was an area that had high potential from a point of view of consumer interaction. And it was really the beginning of the electronic era. So we were beginning to see electronic handheld products come into the marketplace, and then Atari came into the marketplace. And it was a land of opportunity. So I really thought of it as an industry that had high growth potential that I could really thrive in from a long term perspective. So that's why I got into the game industry. Today, I've had many, many different experiences. I've been able to work on every single game platform from Atari forward. I have been a CEO of a major company that sold over $300 million worth of product or games into the marketplace. And now what I'm doing is I'm doing what I love to do, and that is to work hard from a creative and an innovation perspective to bring new ideas and new creative games into the marketplace. The second question is in my opinion, what are the main trends in the gaming industry that we should be aware of in 2023 to 2025? And I would say probably the most important thing is to really work hard on engagement. And as we know in the game industry, there's really two key elements of making a successful game. One is to be able to have a fun game that repeats itself, and two is to be able to find an audience that really loves that game and wants to be able to stay with it. So to me, that's why engagement is so critical because it's such a competitive market right now. You've got to have a differentiator in the marketplace that allows you to be able to attract that audience and then to be able to stay with that audience. So beyond engagement, I also think that the trend is really going into competitive gaming. And what I mean by that is that whether it's skill games or esports, there's an opportunity for players to be able to compete at a casual level, but also at a competitive or a professional level. And I think that's going to continue to evolve over the next several years. And then I truly believe that over the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to see the fact that augmented reality and virtual reality or mixed reality will become much more mainstream. So those are the trends that I'm paying attention to as it relates to 2023 to 2025. The next question is that what have been some of the biggest challenges you faced so far in your role as a game designer? Well, for me, I've had all kinds of different responsibilities from a point of view of being able to be a game designer, a game producer, also a business development guy, the CEO, and all the different responsibilities. As it relates to game design, right now, I think what is really critical is being able to differentiate yourself from other game designers. And that is to be able to look at the marketplace from a point of view of what the consumers are looking for, what kind of play that they want, and then incorporate that game design into your game. And I also think that what's really challenging now is that, as we spoke about earlier, is the fact that we're going into more competitive sports and more skill-based sports. And that means is that more skill-based games. And what that means is that the game designer really needs to focus on a level playing surface. And they need to be able to make it so that when the new player comes in, they can enjoy it as much as the player that's been around for multiple game sessions and is pretty good at it at that point. So to me, I think that the biggest role that we face from a game design point of view is being able to have a fun experience and allow new people to come into the game and allow them to have the game experience and to incorporate that experience into their play as well. How do you see your role as a, how do you see the role of mobile gaming and esport industry evolving in the coming years? I think this is a great question. Right now, as you know, esports is primarily driven by the PC, and it's in the video game console as well. But we also recognize the fact that the mobile device is truly a global device where everybody can play games simultaneously and on a pretty level playing field. So what I see is that as the technology continues to advance, as the game design continues to advance, we're going to see more and more mobile games getting into the competitive game arena with both skill-based and esport initiatives. How do you envision the integration of blockchain technology affecting the future of the gaming industry? This is a great question. And to me, what it is that the you're going to see the blockchain technology on a lot of different games, and they're going to be more of the mega type games because of the fact that they are robust in storytelling, character development, and they create opportunities for monetization. But I also believe that what blockchain can do is that it can create a opportunity for deeper engagement because of the fact that we can start to share different different creative assets, and we can create different skills and values that we have with other players. So I see that the blockchain being robust from a point of view of being able to allow players to be able to buy, to trade, to sell, and interact with all the different assets that they have within the gaming industry. How do you see the increasing importance of in-game events and live concerts, live content affecting the gaming industry? I really feel that this is going to be a major explosive opportunity for our industry. And the reason for that is that we bring audiences together. And if you start to see what's happening with like Twitch, where people come to play games, but they also come to watch people play games, it just creates an opportunity for you to have a deeper, more immersive experience in the game itself. And why not have concerts? Why not have shopping areas? Why not have community events where people can talk about all those different experiences that they have? To me, that is what the engagement opportunity is all about, and the deeper and more immersive experience we can create by live in-game events and live concerts and live content will create huge opportunities for more monetization and deeper experiences with the players themselves. As a producer and a project manager, how do you approach managing the development and the launch of a new game? For me, because I've been in the industry for so long, there's a difference between a successful game and a non-successful game. And this sounds contrite, but it's all about the fun. And so for me, when I'm a producer and a project manager, I want to make sure that we focus on the most important element of the game, and that is the fun element. Because what that will do is that will allow players to come in and play and want to replay. And it'll also create audience opportunities for you to be able to come in that will create that deep type of an engagement. So for me, when I'm managing the development of a new game, I start out with the focus on the game design document and try to really make sure that we have articulated what we see as the vision as it relates to what the fun experience will be for the consumer. Once we establish that, then we start to work with the artists, the programmers, and the technology people to be able to implement that opportunity for a potential fun game in the marketplace. Do you think the trend of gamification in non-gaming industries, education, medical, etc., will continue to grow? I do. I really do. I've been a big fan of gamification from a long time for a long time, and for me, I define gamification as really two key elements, and that is that what gamification does is create leaderboards, and it also creates an opportunity for badges. And to me, when you're talking about non-gaming industries, what they want to do is that they want to create a sense of community, and they want to create an experience that allows you to compare to others. So to me, gamification and what it means in the marketplace can be really important as it relates to a motivational and incentive type of a program to be able to really enhance the experience that education and medical type companies are trying to convey to their audience. The next question is it how do you see the trend of gamification and the use of mini games for brand engagement evolving over the next few years? Well, as I just said, is that I do believe that gamification is critical because of the leaderboard and the badges that it allows. I mean, look at like the Boy Scouts and how they've got this badge program that keeps boys in their program from 8 years old until 18 years old. That to me is what gamification can do for different brands and different games, and that is to create incentives within the game for you to stay on and for you to be able to play longer because of the fact that you're identified as somebody that has done a really good job within your environment or within the greater community of the games. And what it does is it allows the brands to be able to provide specific information to the consumer by way of gameplay design incorporated into the gamification itself. What opportunities and challenges do you see for smaller and independent game developers in the next few years? The game industry has proven that is always looking for new fun elements. And to me, that's why we look to the small and the independent game developers to create that unique out of the box type of experience, that special sauce that really delivers against that experience that consumers want to be able to come back and play with over and over and over. And I'm a small developer as well as a big developer, and for me it's all about focus. And that is, if you're going to be a developer at this stage, what you need to do is find a niche within the game industry that you can excel in. And what that'll do is that'll create opportunities for you to be able to have secondary products and take your audience that you've created in the first game and bring it over to your additional games as well. And I also think that independent developers can create opportunities for people that don't traditionally play games to be able to come into the game environment. And so, we kind of expect that the independent developer to be working on different types of elements, including, corporate games and things like that, that allow the gameplay experience to be able to be utilized across broad different experiences, within society. How do you see the role of partnerships and collaboration between different segments of the gaming industry changing? Well, I think that partnerships and collaboration are key to the future of the game business. And the reason for that is that just like we spoke about on the last question is that big companies are so bureaucratic and so, you know, intense in what they have from a point of view of being able to use what they have in the marketplace. They really count on their partnerships and collaborations with independent and smaller developers to bring new, fresh ideas into the marketplace. So I always see that happening. I also see that we're going to be going through a lot of different experiences as it relates to how products are brought to the marketplace. It used to be the biggest focus in the market was that what is your new product that you're bringing this year, and how are you going to be able to get that audience to happen? Today, what we see is that great legacy products such as Fortnite, such as Call of Duty, these great products, they don't bring out new products. What they do is they bring out product extensions for their franchises. And it goes back to that discussion that we've had earlier, and that is that if you have an audience, how do you hold on to it? Because they're the ones that are making all the money for you. And so to me, I see that there's a big transition in the marketplace right now because of the fact that what we're seeing is that many major game publishers are not introducing new intellectual property into the marketplace because they're trying to hold on to the audiences that they have currently. And that then creates opportunities for collaboration and partnership with independent developers to be able to bring new content to the marketplace and to be able to expand the marketplace even further. What advice do you have for new game developers and founders looking to enter the industry and to succeed in the long term? I have found that game development is not for the faint of heart. And I find that most people that say that they want to get into the game industry, when they get into the game industry, find out that it's a lot different and a lot more challenging than what they thought it was. And that is that the reason for that is that one thing I've learned over the years is that creating fun is really hard. And so if you're going to be in the game industry, your job is to be able to create fun. And to me, that means is that you've got to be able to go through a lot of collaboration. You've got to go through a lot of setbacks, and you've got to go through a lot of self-analysis to really understand what the essence of what you're trying to deliver from a fun point of view. And if you can nail that, you have an opportunity then to create opportunities that can be very monetizable for you in the marketplace. So I guess my advice to game developers and founders would be is that don't go into it just to dabble. Go into it to commit that you're going to make it happen, and expect that for the first couple of times you probably are not going to hit the bullseye, but it's worthwhile for you to continue to try, because if you have a fun game, you will find an audience and it will be a successful product for you.